The podcast is my pulpit, and I am ready to preach the raw truth. Join me as I discuss real life, love, and teach you all the lessons I've learned along the way. Welcome to Lakita's Room. I am your host, Lakita Brewington. Hello, and welcome back to Lakita's Room. I am your host, Lakita Brewington. Listen, if you haven't taken a moment to follow me on social media, what are you doing with your life? Okay, take a quick minute, hit pause. Please do me a favor. Go and find me on YouTube. I'm over there at Lakita's Room. I'm also on all social media outlets, Lakita's Room. Okay, I would greatly appreciate it. You guys just keeping up with me and seeing what I have going on over there in social media land. Yes, I made up a word. Okay, so do me a favor. Go follow me on all my social media outlets. I would greatly appreciate it. Okay, now today is I like to call this a grown-up conversation. You know, when you get to that age where your parents cannot discipline you, they can't lay you across their knee, they can't scold you, they can't put you in a corner because you're misbehaving. But what they can do is sit you down and have an adult conversation. And that is something that I want to do with you all today. And hopefully you all getting my experience. You know, that's what Lakita's Room is all about. It's about love, lessons, we helping each other out along the way, right? So hopefully what I'm going to talk about today will be of great use for you. I pray that it is, okay? So let me tell you all just a little bit about what's been going on with me lately. About, let's say Wednesday, maybe Thursday, I started having the most excruciating back pain. I could barely move. It took a lot for me to get out of the bed, to stretch, to like bend over at my waist. Okay, so touching my toes at this point was not even an option. It was hard for me to even go waist level at this point. I was just having a very difficult time just moving around, just doing my everyday just things that I was doing, right? And you all know I pretty much live at the gym. I'm there all of the time. I was still going to the gym, still lifting weights, but the pressure just began to increase in my back, right? So I made it throughout the rest of the week. I was still hurting. I started popping muscle relaxers, ibuprofen, and I hate taking pills, right? So I began to get even more frustrated. I started using all these creams, all these different things to help me with no relief. The pain, it would not go anywhere. So I made it to church Sunday. By the time I got out of the bed on Sunday, I couldn't move at all. So me wearing heels or anything to church was out of the question because I could barely walk at this point. So I took some more medicine and I went to church. So my mom finally looks at me and says at the church, you know, you need to do something about that. If you're still hurting, you're barely moving, you need to go see the chiropractor. You need to do something about that. So I took her advice and I made my appointment today. I called to see if I could get in, and they were very gracious to fit me in the same day. They said, well, what time do you want to come? So I went at 9:00 this morning, went to the chiropractor, and I'm telling the nurse what's going on. I'm telling her that I have all of this burning in my hips, my lower back. And I asked to get on a particular machine because I just thought that I needed some stretching done. I thought really that just normal wear and tear, right? So I get in there, I'm talking to the nurse, and then she sends in my doctor, and he looks at me. He says, turn around. I explained to him what was going on, and he just kind of just was like, well, you know you do have scoliosis, right? And so I'm like, yeah, but I'm just thinking I just overdid it at the gym. So he began to tell me that is why I was hurting. And then he says, well, you know you haven't been in here since November, right? Now, mind you, we are in the month of May. So that's another scolding. I'm like, oh, you're right. You know, I'm just nodding my head. And then I ask, okay, so what's the plan? So he puts me on another machine, like an electrotherapy type of machine, so I could get some heat therapy and just kind of just get some relief, because I was hurting at this point. And honestly, you know that little scale that they ask you about, what's your pain level on a scale of 1 to 10? Your girl was sitting on a 12 to 15. That's how much pain I have been in over the last couple of days. So he leaves the room. The nurse puts me on this machine, And all of these thoughts start flooding in my head. Like, how in the world did I allow myself to get to this point? How in the world did I allow myself to get to the point where I'm not moving, where it hurts to even just get up and sit up in the bed? And I knew better, because honestly, you all know that part of my profession is in the healthcare industry. I'm a licensed massage therapist. So I'm telling people to take care of themselves all the time. I'm telling people, take a deep breath in, breathe out, make sure you're doing your stretches. I'm giving them a regular routine of care. I'm telling them, okay, I'll see you next week, I'll see you in 2 weeks, just depending on what's going on with my client. So I knew better, right? So instead of me following the advice that I give to my clients all of the time, I neglected myself, and as a result, I'm sitting here hurting in excruciating pain. I feel a little better today because I've started therapy again. I have to go back tomorrow just to get this flare-up under control. So I knew better. I was told 2 years ago when I started going to the chiropractor, he said that I have a mild case of scoliosis. It's not a big curve or anything, but it's enough to cause pain if I don't get regular treatment, right? So he told me that was a sharp reminder that I hadn't been in there since November. I was supposed to go back in December, but my grandfather passed, and then life has just been lifing, and I've just been going on about my business. I honestly hadn't thought anything about it, right? So which is leading me up to my topic today, which is put your mask on first, okay? Ouch. I'm saying ouch for me first because I needed to hear that. I needed to get that scolding by my mom and that scolding by my chiropractor because I knew better. But honestly, for those of us who have been on an airplane before, there's a reason that the flight attendants give you those instructions that we ignore because we're getting comfortable in that window seat or whatever your favorite seat is on the plane. We're not listening to them. I'm getting comfortable. I'm putting my neck brace on. I'm getting real comfortable because I know I'm getting ready to be out for however long my flight is. Sis is going to sleep. I'm not paying attention to that speech. But if you really go back and dissect what they're saying, they're telling you in the event of an emergency, this little mask is going to pretty much pop out of the ceiling. And what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to put your mask on first. You're supposed to put your mask on first before you go to assist your neighbors beside you. And most importantly, before you even help your children, you're supposed to put your mask on first. Now, on the surface, that sounds a little inconsiderate. Well, these babies didn't ask to be here. Why wouldn't you not put their mask on first instead of yours? Because if you think about this, if you don't put your mask on first, you won't be in any condition to take care of your children or anyone else because you're not breathing. I want you to take a moment and let that sit in. It sounds harsh, but if you think about it, if you're not taking care of yourself, how in the world will you be fit? How in the world will you be able to take care of anyone else? That was a harsh reality that I got today. So while I'm laying face down on that table, I really began to repent, first of all, for just letting myself get back in that condition. I knew that I needed regular care. I knew that I needed to go to the chiropractor at least once a month to get therapy, to get an adjustment, just to keep things going. It's the same process when you're taking care of your car. You're doing car maintenance. They tell you to come back and get your oil change at a certain level of miles. It's 5,000 or whatever the rules are. I just look at the sticker and go, I'm not a car person. But there's a reason that they're telling us to do that. Because if you're not getting your regular maintenance, anything could happen to your car. You're putting yourself in danger. You're putting your family in danger because you aren't following the routine level of care that was given. So that's important. Just like you're doing that for your car, just like you're doing spring cleaning, just like you're preparing to take your kids and your different family members to practices and different things that they have. For those who may be an athlete, you do what's called conditioning to keep your body in top shape. Why would you not do that for yourself? And I'm talking to myself too because I knew better. I knew better, but I ignored it. And as a result, I have a flare-up. I'm sitting here hurting, hips are burning because I neglected to take care of myself. I failed to follow the routine level of care that I was prescribed. So I want to ask you today, and I'm asking myself too, What are we going to do to fix that? Of course, you know, I'm always dropping you all life lessons along the way. So one thing that is going to help me moving forward, I will be at the chiropractor at least once a month. I have to go a couple of days this week just until I get my condition regulated again, until the burning sensations and the intense pain goes away. But moving forward, I will be at the chiropractor at least once a month. Now, you may not need to go and see a chiropractor, but what does self-care look like for you? The month of May is mental health month. So what are you doing to take care of your mind? What are you doing to take care of your body? What are you doing to take care of your spirit? For some, that level of maintenance may be that you're seeing a therapist. I have one. You may be doing that. You may be scheduling in monthly maintenance where you're going to get your nails done. If you can't afford to get your nails done, the prices have gone up everywhere. If you can't afford to get your nails done on a regular basis, listen, they have press-on nails. Go to the nearest drugstore, get you some press-on nails, and they look really good. And I promise you, they will not cost more than $10 for a set. If they're on sale, you can get it for about $5 or $6. You just have to be at the right place at the right time. So really, there's no excuse for us not taking care of ourselves. If you can't afford to take yourself to the movies, listen, everybody has Netflix. Get you a code and do what you need to do. You can watch a movie, read a book, but make sure that you are doing something to decompress. Because as much as I have told my clients, take a deep breath in, breathe out. I'll see you in 2 weeks. Make sure that you're doing your stretching. Make sure that you're soaking in the tub to alleviate the pain. I knew those things. And it's a lot easier to preach those things, but it's harder when you're not living it. Right? So we have to learn how to practice what we preach. I have to learn how to do those same things that I'm telling my clients. And that's what I want to share with you today. Make sure that you are doing the same things, that you are following the same advice that you're giving to your friends, that you're giving to your family, that you're giving to your homegirls, that you're giving to your bros. Make sure that you're following that. Because I honestly realized that was such a wake-up call for me today, because I know the things that I'm called into. God has gifted me with the abilities to do a lot of things. I'm good at doing a lot of things, and I do not want to be restricted in any way from doing those things that God has given me to do. Honestly, when I leave this earth, I want to leave empty. I don't want to leave with a walker. I don't want to leave bedridden. I want to leave knowing that I fulfilled my assignment in the earth. So it's very important, you all, that we learn how to take better care of ourselves. So like I said, moving forward, I have that on my schedule. I will be going to the chiropractor once a month. I will be just taking time to decompress. There may be some days where you won't see me on social media because I'm resting, because I'm ignoring emails, because I'm ignoring your text message or your phone call. And we have to learn how to realize that everything is not an emergency. Sometimes it may be okay to respond a day later because you are busy filling your own glass. Okay? And that's okay. And don't feel guilty about it. I think because we are so overstimulated by social media and just other things that are grabbing our attention, sometimes it's hard to pull away. But honestly, when you take that time to unplug, that's when clarity comes. That's when you're able to hear God clearer. That's when you're able to make better decisions, because you don't have all of these things just snatching for your attention. You don't have everybody pulling at you. And for those who may be moms to young children, you may be dads to young children, it's okay to leave that baby with a trusted, and I do mean trusted, adult that you know will take good care of your child just like you do, just so you can have a moment to yourself. That moment may be you pulling up to the park to sit in the car, to observe nature, just to catch your breath. That's okay. That moment away may be you pulling up to Starbucks, you going and sitting inside, you getting a table by yourself, you getting you one of those little fancy teas or caffeinated drinks and having that time to yourself. That's okay. Self-care is necessary. It's necessary, especially for those of us who have a lot on our plates. It's necessary. It really is. And honestly, what I have realized, if you don't take care of yourself, you are going to begin to resent the things that you do have. You may begin to resent the gifts that you do have. And what I mean by that is, I love doing massages. I love helping people relax, but I don't enjoy the back pain. I don't enjoy my thumbs aching because I've taken on too many clients. I don't enjoy that. And honestly, some days that makes me resent what I do. And that's because I haven't taken the necessary time to pull away and to pour back into myself. So don't be like me, okay? I encourage you all, make sure that you are pouring back into yourself. It's a short word, but it's a strong one. And I hope that you all have gotten something out of that today. And I honestly know that I desire to be married again. I desire to travel and just enjoy my life. And I cannot do that if I am not in peak condition. And you know, another thing that he really got me with today, my chiropractor, before he finishes with my adjustment, I asked him, can I work out this week? Can I keep working out? And he just hurt my feelings. He said, well, no lifting weights. And that's really what I have been big on. I have really enjoyed pushing that weight because that honestly has helped me to decompress. But because I neglected myself, I have been restricted to just walking, just icing my body, and stretching. Okay, it was tough, but I'm going to do it because I want to make sure that I follow the instructions so I can get back in the gym. Okay, so I hope you all follow my instructions today. Get you a planner. I have already talked to you all about this. Get you a planner, set an alarm on your phone, do whatever you need to do to make sure that you are pouring in to yourself. And you know how sometimes when that mom or that dad, they talk to us, and what do they say? I don't want to have to talk to you about this again, right? And you know, when they say that, they mean business. So let me hit y'all with that. I don't want to have this conversation with you again, okay? So make sure, make sure that you're getting that self-care in. Thank you for sitting with me in Lakita's room. If there's any topic or anything that you want to talk about, hit me up. Send me an email, send me a message. I will respond as quickly as I can. If I'm not doing my self-care, I do want to take your ideas into consideration because listen, y'all are stuck with me now. I hope you enjoy sitting in this virtual space with me. And if there is anything that I can do to make your day better, send me a message. Let me know. If you need prayer, if you need encouragement, keep up with me on social media. I pray that I am being a much needed light in your life. Thank you guys again for joining me in Lakita's room. Until next time, we'll talk soon. Take care. Child, this episode right here, I'm honestly still processing. And as I think back and just look back over my life, I realize that it's been the same cycle after the same cycle. And I still have some work to do, but that's okay. The first thing in moving forward is admitting that you have an issue or that you have a problem. So my goal moving forward is to practice what I preach and to practice what I give to everyone else and to be disciplined and consistent in doing that. And that starts with me filling my own glass first. I hope that you have learned something in hanging out in Lakita's room with me today, and we'll talk soon. Take care.